When I'm not working on my charity helping to ink underprivileged children, tats for tots, I like to answer questions that I get on YouTube, so let's get to it. In all seriousness, what is the best acoustic guitar to bust over another man's head professional wrestling style? I only ask because I have some money to collect. So I think this is actually asking two separate questions, which is what is going to have the most dramatic effect professional wrestling style, and what would you actually want to use if you wanted to actually collect money from somebody? Which again, two totally different questions. Now, if you're just going to do something for dramatic effect professional wrestling style, I would recommend some kind of bigger solid body guitar. So this is like a grand auditorium type shape. And the reason being is because if you have the back as one solid piece of wood with a bigger surface level, then when you actually come down on someone's head, it should bust right through and kind of like look hilarious, right? So I would say some kind of jumbo acoustic solid wood guitar. You wouldn't really want it to be laminate because it'd be harder to break, all right? But that's a totally different question than what guitar would you want to use to just beat someone with? Because again, you probably wouldn't want it to break right away. You'd want to do like a lot of damage. So I would think of something that is maybe a laminate wood with a smaller surface size. So maybe like one of those parlor guitars. It also depends on where you hit them. Like if you hit them with like the side of the guitar, I feel like you could do a lot more damage than actually hitting someone with like the back or the front. Or if you just wanted to like joust, skew them with like the head. But the real answer for that question is one of those indestructible carbon fiber guitars, which are pretty cool. I've played those a couple times. They sound great. They're awesome for really like defending yourself in some kind of zombie apocalypse situation. And I would definitely go carbon fiber because again, they say they're like indestructible. I think they make like helicopter blades out of them or something like that. So again, if you want to have something reusable for, you know, money loan shark collecting situations, I would say go carbon fiber. If you just want something to kind of look hilarious and have a good visual feedback from, go with a solid body jumbo dreadnought. What are your plans for the UK and how has the trip been so far? Will you be visiting a Scots up north? So I just got back from England for like 9 days. A lot of people asked why I was there. And I gotta be honest, I don't really know exactly why I was there. I booked the trip to hang out with my buddy Tom, but I didn't really know what was truly driving me there. And then it all became clear the day I got there, okay? You may have heard about this in the news, but this mysterious Jeff Goldblum statue just kind of popped up alongside the banks of downtown London of the Thames River. So I really went on a mission right away when I got there. And it was important to me not to find the exact location of this because I've never been to England before. I've never been to Europe before. This is my first time there. So like, all right, I don't want to know where this is. I just want to go downtown by the Thames River and kind of feel my way through it. So I get off at like the London Bridge tube exit and I'm looking around. And it's like, okay, there's, you know, Big Ben with the scaffolding. There's Westminster Abbey. There's Millennium Bridge. There's London Bridge. There's London Tower. And I'm just kind of like, okay, whatever, you know, looking at all these like historical landmarks. And then I'm on the far bank of the Thames River. And I look to my right across the lake river. And I see the back of what I can only assume to be Jeff Goldblum's head. And this is kind of ridiculous because this statue just like popped up out of nowhere without Jeff Goldblum's consent. This is something I'm obviously very interested in. So I see him across the river and my heart starts beating fast and I briskly pick up the pace and I'm ignoring like the eye of London and everything else that's going on. And I finally approached it. There was an interesting collection of people around there. And I looked into statue Jeff Goldblum's eyes and for the first time I really felt like I was home. So now I know why I was there. Also, it was the hottest it's been in London in 350 years, so they say, and that was interesting. But definitely crossed the Jeff Goldblum thing off my bucket list, and it was a good trip. Soul, I've yet to meet a white guy with soul. You white guys can only copy black guitars note for note, only we have the soul and the real feeling for the blues. Listen, I always felt the blues was colorless, which is why it's named after a color. Have you ever played an outside gig where the weather starts to screw with your tuning during the set? Yes, this is something that a lot of performers will deal with when they have to play outdoor events. I would say the majority of the stuff I play is outdoors now. And yeah, it definitely affects the tuning. It's not so bad. Again, I'm in Florida where the climate is always hot pretty much, But on like cooler nights or where there's like a lot of atmospheric pressure, you do kind of have to tune pretty much in between almost every song. Now, I haven't really had that be an issue where it goes out of tune during a song. What ends up being the issue is your hands get cold. And I feel like having your hands cold is a much bigger issue for a performing outdoor musician than actually having to deal with the tuning. Because again, you know, as long as you have decent equipment, usually the tuning shouldn't slip between like during a song. Now, you know, some people have like hand warmers and stuff like that. I just really stay as busy as possible with my playing when I'm trying to do that. Now, the one tuning thing that I did have was I was playing the show that was in like this big kind of like performing concert hall that was pretty cold, so that they were really cranking like the AC up. And the thing that sucked about that was you had to leave the guitar on the stage, and I was not prepared for this. So if any of you come in this situation, just hopefully that, you know, I just want to say this as like a warning, that I tuned the guitar beforehand, but then it was part of like the stage dressing. So it was sitting out there without anybody playing it in the cold for probably 3 hours. And then I just had to like walk on stage, pick it up off the thing and start playing. And instantly I knew it was out of tune. I'm like, oh crap. So it wasn't so bad because it was like a 4-minute kind of performance song that was part of an ensemble, and I think it was like the G and the B string that really were kind of bad. So I just straight up power chorded the whole song, and I was like, oh man, this is bad. So that's a tuning thing where you have to worry about it, where if you're away from your instrument for a prolonged period of time where there is like maybe some kind of weather or temperature or atmospheric issue, definitely keep that in mind, that you're going to want to have to tune it closely before you're playing. I learned a lesson that day. But for the most part, as long as you know you have a tuner, or this one has a built-in tuner, you should be fine. I don't know, I have an Ovation acoustic electric guitar, and it's okay. My brother gave it to me. He plays acoustic. What do you think about them? So Ovation acoustic electric guitars, are pretty cool. I've played a few of them. I think they're great for when you have them strapped and you're standing up and playing. I don't really like them when you're sitting down and playing because they have that proprietary kind of back texture that it's made out of. It's not just like a solid wood back, and it's a different kind of body shape on the back contour, and I always found that it like slipped off my leg. So I would probably never have an Ovation for that reason. Again, I think it's just kind of the way that I'm shaped. I suppose that I was having trouble just sitting and playing it, and I was always kind of like playing it like this. But yeah, Ovations are really great guitars. Small profile, they sound good, they play really good, but again, that was only my experience when I was standing up and playing it with the strap on. So cool guitars, but I just never had one. So for listening homework this week, we're gonna throw you to the new album from Vinyl Williams. Definitely kind of a cool sound. You can tell a lot of different influences that come. I think it's his best work up to date, so definitely check that out. Let me know what you think, and also if you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, the website, and I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.